my back blown out in peace. You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old?
Well, let me tell you, if you thought the drama was real, this narrative is straight out of a movie. Between Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert had cooled down baby think again, because what just went down at their daughter's birthday party has everyone talking, and not in a good way. We're talking screaming an uninvited guest, emotional breakdowns, and people walking out of what was supposed to be a sweet little celebration. It all started out looking like a picture. Perfect event balloons everywhere, tables set up with pink and gold decorations, cupcakes that looked too cute to eat, and a whole lot of love in the air. Or at least that's how it seemed. Teyana was front and center, hosting everything with her usual style and energy. She had that glow, not just the makeup kind, but the kind you get when you're trying your best to keep it all together for your kid. People were vibing, laughing, catching up. The music was soft, the vibe was cozy, and the whole thing looked like it came straight. Off Pinterest, you could tell Teyana really put her heart into making the day special for her daughter. But right when everyone was starting to relax and take it all in, someone walked through the gate that made everybody freeze. Iman Shumpert. Yes, her ex-husband was not invited at all, according to what we're hearing. In addition, people close to Teyana claim that she specifically asked him not to come, but he showed up with a large gift bag and a half smile, as if everything had been fine at first. Some people speculated that he might have been there, while others claimed that they could feel the energy shift immediately. Teyana's entire face fell when she saw him, as if all the joy she had been clinging to suddenly vanished in an instant. She managed to keep her composure, pulled him aside, and attempted to speak to him calmly, but it didn't take long for things to heat up. People in the vicinity could hear tidbits and tidbits of conversation, and apparently it was more than just a simple, "What are you doing here?" exchange. According to witnesses, Teyana told Iman that he had no right to simply show up like that after everything that had happened between them. She was reportedly shaking and trying to remain composed for the sake of the party, but Iman wasn't backing down. He said that he had every right to be there, that he wasn't going to miss his daughter's birthday, and that Teyana had been shutting him out. At that point, things became extremely uncomfortable, and some guests pulled their children away from the scene just in case. She said it clearly and loudly in front of family, friends, and even a few cameras recording for social media. It wasn't just a whisper or a private little disagreement. Iman didn't say much after the moment seemed to be frozen in time, but his expression altered as if he realized he might have pushed too far. He dropped the present bag next to the table and left without saying anything more. But by that point, the damage had been done, and the party's atmosphere had been completely destroyed. Later that evening, social media exploded with clips and blurry videos from guests who had their phones out at the perfect moment. Twitter threads with everyone arguing whether Iman had the right to show up or whether Taylor overreacted appeared, followed by posts from both of them. Teyana attempted to return to host mode, but it was clear she was emotionally shaken. People began leaving early, not because they didn't care, but because the whole thing just felt too heavy. Teyana tweeted a story with the caption, "Protect your peace even when it hurts," but she didn't go into specifics. Iman, on the other hand, shared a photo of himself holding their kid at a prior birthday with the message, "Always worth the chaos," but no names or explanation was necessary for anyone to understand what she was talking about. In the comments section of that single post, some people criticized him for being sloppy and self-centered, while others praised him for attempting to be a present father. This entire situation has sparked a more in-depth discussion regarding co-parenting, particularly when the split is still recent and feelings are still raw. When Teyana and Iman broke up, it wasn't just a breakup. It was like watching a fairy tale unfold in real time. Now, every moment between them feels like a new chapter in a book we didn't ask to read but can't put down. Teyana and Iman were never just a normal couple. They were a brand, a representation of Black love, and their fans were emotionally invested in their story. According to Teyana's close acquaintances, she has had enough of Iman coming and going, seeming like the loving father when it suits him, while acting erratic behind the scenes. According to one source, she even informed him in advance that if he truly wanted to be involved in their daughter's life, the celebration would be quiet and private. On the other hand, insiders close to Iman suggested polite ways to accomplish that, without interrupting the celebration. Claim that he feels excluded, as if he's being kept at a distance from both Teyana and his daughter. They say that he's frustrated, hurt, and that he believes Teyana is deliberately manipulating the public narrative to paint him as the villain. From his point of view, all he wanted was to be there for his daughter on her special day to show up and prove that, regardless of what happens between the adults, he's still a father first. However, showing up without an invitation and without clear communication may have caused more harm than good, at least in Teyana's eyes. Aaron Pierre's absence from the birthday celebration didn't go unnoticed. In fact, it sparked new rumors on social media. Some claim that he purposefully avoided contact in order to maintain harmony and prevent stoking an already intense emotional fire, while others speculate that his absence could indicate that his relationship with Teyana isn't as stable as it first appeared. His silence is what's making things even more intriguing. When things get noisy in public, Aaron generally posts something discreet, like a quote, a lyric, or a quiet but clear message. However, this time there was nothing posted. No comment, no citing, just silence. And everyone else seemed to be speaking in actions, statements, or shade. Aaron's quiet retreat, whether due to respect distance or uncertainty, speaks volumes. His absence is now part of the story as well, and people are definitely paying attention. Since the birthday incident, there has been no direct communication between Teyana and Iman. Instead, everything is filtered through lawyers or third-party mediators. Insiders claim that the tension has escalated to the point where they may have to go back to court, possibly to renegotiate custody agreements or to set stricter boundaries around public events. If that occurs, things could get even messier. People are divided on both a legal and emotional level online. Some believe that Teyana overreacted and that she should have allowed Iman to see his daughter, especially on such a significant day. Others counter that she had every right to control her surroundings and protect her peace, especially if previous events had left her feeling unsafe or uneasy. However, when you really think about it, everyone seems to agree that their daughter didn't deserve to be caught in the middle of this ongoing chaos. At the center of it all are two people who obviously have unresolved emotions, whether it be lingering love, deep resentment, or just plain exhaustion. And trapped between them is a young child who only wants her parents to be happy, present, and at peace with one another. She is too little to comprehend the many levels of pride and suffering at work here, and in circumstances such as these, there are what should have been a lovely celebration, instead became another chapter in a story that keeps unfolding with more tension than healing. But the story doesn't end here. Rather, it feels like this is just the beginning of a new chapter, and everyone is holding their breath waiting to see what comes next. Will Iman break his silence and issue a public apology? The real winners are only wounds that keep getting reopened, especially in the public eye. Will Teyana eventually talk in an interview, or will she keep quiet to keep her peace from a distance? What about Aaron Teyana's present partner? One thing is certain, the birthday party changed everything. What was meant to be a joyful private celebration for their daughter turned into a flashpoint, a defining moment that exposed deeper cracks in relationships, boundaries, and intentions. With the internet closely observing every move, every post, and every facial expression, it's only adding more pressure to an already precarious situation. His silence thus far has raised as many questions as it has left unanswered. Is he keeping quiet out of respect, or is he getting ready to come forward with his side of the story? If this story has taught us anything, it is that no moment is ever truly private. In today's world, one cryptic tweet can spark 1,000 theories. While Iman seems to be torn between trying to hold on and figuring out what went wrong, Teyana seems to be focused on healing, putting her energy into her kids, her career, and her inner peace. As for Aaron, his role is still the most mysterious. Is he the steady presence Teyana needs? Or is he simply caught in the storm between two people with a complicated past? A voice memo that is leaked has the power to completely alter the plot. One family member's voice has the power to instantly change public perception. These stories don't simply end. They change and take on new headlines, social media discussions, and emotional depths. Keep an eye out because the next turn of events could occur at any time, regardless of whether Aaron or Teyana Iman are prepared. The next chapter is already beginning, and if history is any guide, it will be as emotionally charged, unpredictable, and widely discussed as any of its predecessors.